Hi folks, welcome back to my channel, and this is my January book haul. As you can see, I didn't do too badly, and in fact I had challenged myself this year to try and read more books every month than I buy. It may not happen in every single month. February's already not looking great, but in January I read more books than I added to my TBR. So in terms of books that I buy, I'm only including things that are actually going on my TBR. So library books aren't included, and the odd book that isn't actually for reading won't be included. But anyway, so I only bought the one digital book in January. I bought Romancing the Duke by Tessa, which is an ebook, which I have already read. I bought it on my Kindle and read it the same evening. So that was one book. So another book that is not part of the count, so Tessa was, but this one isn't. This is Elizabeth Browning's Selected Poems. This is a library book, which I've again already read. So this is a collection of Elizabeth Browning's poetry, which I've been searching for her poetry. It wasn't exactly what I expected, but you'll hear about it in my February wrap-up. And the second book that is not included in the challenge is The Very Pointless Quiz Book by Alexander Armstrong and Richard Osman. This is not a book that I'm going to read. This is a book full of quiz questions from the TV show Pointless. That's just for playing around if I happen to be with my friends and stuff. So again, that doesn't count, but I actually bought it in online in December, but it turned up in January. So yeah. So then we go to the rest of the books that do count. So the ebook counted. And we have Invisible Planets, 13 Visions of the Future from China, edited and translated by Ken Liu. So I picked this up on a whim. I've heard a lot about it, and I've read some of Ken Liu's translated work. In fact, one of the stories in here is actually the Hugo-winning novelette from last year from Uncanny Magazine, which I've actually read. So yeah, I'm looking forward to picking up some Chinese science fiction sometime soon. Okay, so I also picked up this. I picked up this at the National Gallery of Australia because they had an exhibition that I went to in early January about Versailles, the treasures of Versailles. They brought a lot of the sort of artwork over from Versailles, and I've always been kind of fascinated by Madame de Pompadour since I saw the Doctor Who episode that she's in as a character. So this is Madame de Pompadour, Mistress of France by Christie Pevitt Algrant. So it's a bit of a biography about one of the most powerful women in France from her time period. So I'm looking forward to that. I also picked up, my parents gave me a gift card for Dimmicks for my birthday. So I picked up a couple of books. I picked up Lagoon by Nnedi Okorafor. This is my third Nnedi Okorafor book. I've already have one of her novellas and another one of her novels, which I have read. So yeah, this is a sort of, from what I understand, it's sort of a mix between science fiction and fantasy. It says, 3 strangers, each isolated by his or her own problems. Eudora, the marine biologist, Anthony, the world-famous rapper, Ogu, the troubled soldier. Wandering the beach outside Lagos, Nigeria's capital city, they're more alone than they've ever been before. But when a meteorite hits the ocean and a tidal wave overcomes them, these 3 people will find themselves bound together in ways they've never imagined. Together with Oidel, a visitor from beyond the stars, they must race through Lagos and against time itself in order to save the city, the world, and themselves. So I love Nnedi Okorafor's writing, so I'm really looking forward to picking that up. And my other birthday book is Reckoning by Magda. I've been hearing about this most of last year. It's an award-winning biography in Australia. Magda is a comedian and actress. I've seen a lot of her work that I really like. She's, of course, plays Sharon on Kath and Kim, and she's done various sketch shows and other shows. And what I'm really excited about is that I think a lot of the stuff in this, which is her autobiography, it's about her, a lot of it's about her father, and I've seen the episode that she did of Who Do You Think You Are? And her father was so fascinating because he fought in the Polish resistance in World War II. So I'm really looking forward to getting a chance to read this and hear about that in more detail. And then the final book that I picked up in January, which was again in the first week of January, is A History of the World in 100 Objects from the British Museum. This is sort of the program book that came with the exhibition, A History of the World in 100 Objects. I've, over the years, been slowly making my way through the BBC podcasts. I haven't finished, but, you know, they're the kind of things that I occasionally pick up if I'm in the mood for a bit of history. And I went to see the exhibition in the first week of January. I went to see that's 2 exhibitions I went to see in January. And so I picked up the book to go with it so I could get a little bit more information and remember the things that I saw. Just off the top of my head, the object that from this collection that impacted me the most, that really punched me in the gut, was the collection of 50 manillas, which was the price of a human person when slavery was still legal. And that was really hard stomach. But there were beautiful objects, there were meaningful objects, there were old objects, there were newer objects. So that's the final book. So all in all, the books that count for my challenge, I picked up 6 and I read 10 books, as you'll have seen in my wrap-up. So I'm doing well so far on my challenge to try and reduce my TBR this year. And yeah, that's my book haul for January. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I picked up, or if you're interested in reading any of them. And I will see you again soon. Bye.